this Maamar Betzim is split. It goes al Seder, Hanyonim, the weights in Tzach Tzedek, the Alter's Maamar, the weights from Tzach Tzedek. It goes to all these madrigas of Lechem, Yayin, Mayim, Shemen, Salt in the Shemen, and the oil in the Shemen. These are like the madrigas, which goes to the Maamar. Huh? So I'm going over the close thing. The close I'm going to focus on today till saying the first half of the Maamar. First half of the Maamar basically focuses on Yayin, Mayim, Yayin, and Shemen. Then later in the Maamar, it already starts going into the Reach Sheba Shemen, the psalm that's there in the Shemen, the Ori which is there in the Shemen. That's already deeper. So I think number one, we should have to touch up the Masagim over here. So we're not just speaking here. The Rebbe's just like throwing madrigas. There's this madriga, that madriga, there's a high madriga. This the whole seder here. They're trying to explain something. They're trying to get it somewhere. Behagdim, yeah. You have to feel the Chavos outside. That brings here actually in the Shuli Agilin towards the end of the Maamar that he said this. There was She-asa this Maamar on a Maamar from the Tzach Tzedek, which is really a Maamar of the Alter Rebbe. The Maamar of the Alter Rebbe is the Tzach Tzedek put Ha'aris and Hagoyis on in our Torah. This Maamar, like people don't have. This is like one of the very, very famous Maamarim. In other words, this is the Maamar the Alter Rebbe said the first year to Kislev, like the year next year, the first time. In other words, yeah, the Boruch Shasa Nisim, the Dimras of Boruch Shasa Nisim that was She-asa on the Boruch Shasa Nisim of the Alter Rebbe. The Boruch Shasa Nisim of the Alter Rebbe was the first year after Yitzis Kislev. It's Tav Kuf Samach, and this was major. This is when they were conveya like Yitzis Kislev was a day, Lashon Acheres, whatever, and the Alter Rebbe said this Maamar. The Alter Rebbe said this Maamar. Started the Maamar saying Boruch Shasa Nisim Lavseinu Bayom Heim Chanukah and Purim was Manazeh Yitzis Kislev. That's how the Alter Rebbe started the Maamar. Right? Take the Maamar of the Alter Rebbe, the way it sounds like the first part of the Maamar goes to take the whole Hagdara of what is Chanukah and Purim, Legabe Pesach, how it's a higher eating than Pesach v'chulu, and then it goes to the whole Vort of Shemen, of Yayin, Mayim. But firstly, like the Alter Rebbe, like kind of defines what Chanukah is all about. Not in this Maamar. Saying the Alter Rebbe's Maamar. I'm just giving you a little bit background information that defines the uniqueness of Chanukah, and then zooms in on what's the word of the nets of Chanukah. Why is the nets of Chanukah connected dafka with oil? And that part is already what the Rebbe's She-asa the whole Maamar on. And that's like if you look between the shuras, if you know a little bit like what's the sugya over here, the Rebbe doesn't spell out clear, but it's pretty clear that the Alter Rebbe is trying to magdar what's the word of Chassidus. What's Chassidus all about? Chassidus is Shemen, Chassidus is oil, yeah? And there's different parts of Torah which accomplish different things, and there's what Chassidus is supposed to accomplish, which is like the deepest, the highest accomplishment. And Kilu, like, coming the first Kislev, after the Shiur, after the Gula, was a very basic, you say, it's like a Hagdara, very basic definition. Stop, just another prat, before we get actually into the Teichen Inyan. Yeah, the Fiedeke writes that the whole Seder Avodah of Chassidim that year, from after Yitzis Kislev, when the Alter Rebbe was released, till the next year Yitzis Kislev, Tav Kuf Samach, the Chassidim went completely nuts, completely crazy. Like, in other words, people were so mishugeh b'simcha that it was like kind of like people lost it. It started the Alter Rebbe felt that it was veering a little bit off of Chabad, it was getting a little more into Hispilus, Pelisha, whatever, Makif. The Fiedeke writes that the Chassidim would then go to the forest outside the city and would scream to Eibishter, the Kol Gadol, like it was a very almost, yeah. I mean, it was getting very intense. So the Alter Rebbe basically in this Maamar, the whole part of the point of this Maamar the Alter Rebbe wanted to bring out is to kind of calm Chassidim down, not calm down, but to mamshich their excitement into Kalim. Like put their excitement into perspective. Contained. Yeah, and the word is that's why the Alter Rebbe was so ma'arich the whole idea of water, of oil, all these different things, like all these little mathematical things we'll explain soon, to kind of ground us a little bit. Fine, it was a Rosh Shah. It was a something specific for that time because of the needs of the Chassidim and that kufa. But that's what it was. That's what it was all about. Because the word, Chassidus Chabad doesn't, we don't just do Ispayos, Shem Ispayos. Ispayos is supposed to get us somewhere, yeah? It's supposed to be aside from a true place, from a previous good place. So it's supposed to get us to a certain end, a certain goal. So fine, that's the background a little bit of the Alter Rebbe's Maamar, and what the Maamar there was Musadah. So now let's a little bit speak out the Musagim. Speak out, give a little bit more perspective again to all these. There the Maamar goes the whole pilpul of water versus wine, Maim and Yain and Shem and what are we talking about? Why do we care what wine, what water is? What's that? Just like a technical pilpul b'alma. So what does it say? We put things in perspective, it becomes a lot more geschmack. The Tzaddik of the Maamar, saying the Alter Rebbe's Maamar, Betzim, says like this: that there's a seder avodah. There's a seder how a person does things, right? I mean, say this is after already. There's a Chanukah Mizbeach. We'll get there that in a second. But b'chlal the seder adavar is that in the beginning of a person's iskarvus, a person's kirut avodas Hashem, he starts with the idea of lechem. Lechem, which is karbonis. What's the idea of karbonis? He connects with malchus atzilus. The idea being that a person feels that he's far from a certain goal, he's far from a certain kesher with the Eibishter. He realizes that he's in cheshach. So he develops a fire dika'ave, a tshuka tzimoyin, to come closer to the Eibishter. It's what's called Tanya Ava Krish Beish. Ava Krish Beish is pshat. It's fire. It's rising. It's trying to get out of itself. It's trying to get somewhere close. Get somewhere, reach something beyond. Right. So that's the idea. That's what in Spheres we attribute that to Malchus. Malchus Atzilus. Right. It says Chassidus. It doesn't say in this Maamar. It says Chassidus B'chlal. It reminds me that Malchus is this fire from Lamata, which is always like trying to get close, because it's a lower sphere, it's a more makabel sphere, it's a more dark sphere, and it always wants to get ashpa. It always wants to receive, to get more to get more lichtigkeit, and that translates by karbonis. Yeah, and the whole word of a carbon is that you're taking the passion, you're taking behemoth, you're taking something which is gashmi, which is grab, which is low, and you're burning on the mizbeach. In other words, you're trying to get it out of itself, to bring it close to the Eibishter, to get out of being in cheshach. That's what and by every single person, b'chlos, that's a nikud of davening. That's a nikud of avodas tefillah. But it's trying to remember by itself. It's a fire. It's a energy, a drive, striving to come closer. And the point is that at that stage, it's almost like you're not necessarily looking for a result. You're not necessarily at that point looking for the end, for the task of the matara. It's more in the cool that you're rising, you're lifting yourself. You're trying to get closer. That's lechem. That's korban lachem liishai. Then you have eish. Then you have lechem. Then you have karbonis. That's one nekuda, right? So now there's different parts of chassidus focus on different things. A lot of chassidus focuses on how you marry yourself to fire. Yeah. So a lot of chassidus tries to explain to you that we're living in a lie. That we look at the world, we think the world is a metzias. Really, you should know the world's not a metzias. Really, you should know the Eibush is mahav and machai the world b'chol rega. So don't get stuck by the tzir which you are. Get out of yourself. Strive for higher. That's what a lot of chassidus deals with. Now, there's also a very big chelik of chassidus which deals with all the perspective. Okay, now you have fire. Now what? Like, what are you trying to get to? You're striving for some kind of an emes, some kind of a truth, some kind of like a deher nelikus. That's very good. You're supposed to have this passion, but then what? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do with it? I said before, the whole point of the Maamar is the then what? Is like, okay, now get to work. And the vort is that's what the Maamar says. The Alter Rebbe doesn't really focus so much on yayin. The Rebbe teaches more ice, but the Alter Rebbe focuses on mayim, on water. The vort of mayim, is chachma, is the kur of bittul. In other words, that it's very nice that you're having spilus and dveikus and shuka and simoyin v'chul, but it's supposed to get you somewhere. You're supposed to come to a nekuda of bittul to leibishter, bittul to likus. I said before, by Chassidus, we don't look at shuka and simoyin as a means to an end. We don't look at it as a the end result. It's only a means to an end. It's only a imtsoi to get to somewhere. Get to a real place. Right? In other words, ultimately, really, what it's all about is bittul to leibishter. That's what really your tzimon is for, essentially, even though you don't know it. But the point is to get to bittul teivishter. What's bittul? So chachma b'chlal is bittul. Now, that's the thing. In the Tzemach Tzedek's mind, the Tzemach Tzedek brings the Alter Rebbe. He goes then that's water, that's fire, water, whatever. That's Maim and that's Malchus and Chachma. Then it starts getting into Shemen, into Chachma Stima, v'chu. So before we even get deeper, before we get into all these nekudas, so first of all, we also have to put in wine over here. What's the nukud of yain? The masbir, the maila, and my maila and yain, the way the Rebbe is masbir, and then Taki to explain where does Shemen fit into the picture. So we know that Shemen is a certain yisoid, or it's like mayim and yain are the kind of like the end results, like where you're supposed to get to as a result of your chukka and tzima, as a result of your fire. But everything has to be used on a certain kud of Shem, right? We know that they put Shemen on the mizbeach before they started the karbanis, before they did the nisuch hamayim, before they did the nisuch hayayin. Something called Shemen, and that's supposed to be like a yisoid for the whole thing. Fine. So, this person that was bringing more for all the Maamar, right? We know that there's the yain and mayim. Yain, we characterize as rosin. Sorry, yain, the difference in yain and shem. Yain is rosin, shem is rosin. The rosin, mayim, and all the Maamar explains that it goes on nigla. And fine, the Rebbe right away asks, like, is mayim higher than water, lower than water? Sorry, mayim higher than yain, lower than yain. It's higher than wine, lower than wine. In other words, according to the pashas of the mayim of the Alter, which we're dealing with, mayim is like very good. Mayim is bittul. This is where we're supposed to get to. All places seems that mayim just nigla the Torah, and if you try and get the rosin the Torah, it's yain. And it goes as it. That basically splits it. That yesh v'zeh ma'ashem b'zeh. Each one has something unique which the other doesn't have. It goes as it. And again, I'll put this back into perspective. The idea is like this: that water is nigla. What's the vort of nigla? Nigla carries with it a certain nekuda of, I'm telling you the emes the way it is, this the emes, and be this battle. Dvar avai, this is what the Eibusher, kach omer Hashem, this is what the Eibusher says. Certain nekuda, in other words, to a certain extent, we're not looking at like Pnimis and Yonim, we're not looking at hasbars of what things are l'mayla, what this means by you, but b'nefesh. It's like, in a certain sense, you have like your nefesh is on fire, calm down, like, go learn nigla, go learn atesis, go learn like what the Eibusher wants. Be powerful in like sheshagach sapara. So, on one hand, it's kind of anticlimactic. Yeah, a person's like burning with fire the Eibusher, and you go give him a zet, give him a bit, give him a chayla. Go, what are you? What's machzas meshugah? What are you making yourself crazy? Go learn atesis. Like, calm down, right? On the one hand, right? So in other words, person says, "What do you mean? Like, I'm already on fire. Give me something deep. Give me something. I don't know, gishmak, whatever. Something to marry mitzvah." And the first thing you tell a person, calm down, bittul. Like, you want the Eibusher? Listen to what he has to say. Go learn nigla. Go learn dvar avai. Right. So on the one hand, it's like it's a anticlimactic. On the other hand, they ever said, like the way it's brought out, mayim comes from a high sheyesh. The etz and the kuda, that is anticlimactic. The etz and the kuda, it's not gishmak, is fakir, it's a maila. In other words, we're not speaking to you, but we're not speaking to your mahalach nefesh, not speaking to your feelings. We're telling you the emes. We're telling you what's going on. With the in a certain sense, there's a certain aspect here of the in the way it is. The ois of the maamar is that the water b'poil is lower, but b'shorshay it's higher, right? Whereas b'shorshay comes from chokhmah. It's an inyan of bittul. Right, that's like it's nekuda. That's its vort, and the way to express self b'poil is take lower things, nigla things, like nigla sprach. That's one nekuda. No, the first thing you tell a person, like you're in a fire, go learn nigla, and that's take. It says all over Chassidus, yeah, a lot of places. That's the outcome of davening is supposed to be limud Torah, yeah, with bittul, yeah, not a very Torah, yeah. We're speaking here about Oived Hashem. We're not speaking about someone that's like learning nigla just l'shem, making populim, writing down his chidushim. We're speaking about a person who's learning nigla because it's the Eibusher's Torah, as we learned the previous Maamar, Oived Sefer. He's learning the Eibusher's Torah. Nor is then it's like the part of the Eibusher's Torah which for a person who's like on fire by davening, he's like not gishmak. Yeah, saying by big chassidim, by big alter chassidim. I know chassidim which I know chassidim Ariyoyim that this by them the Seder Mitzvah Shabbos was always to learn Nigla whole night, or so many hours. Mitzvah Shabbos they learn Nigla many hours. That was like the titzah. That was the outcome. The outcome of a Shabbos, the whole word of Shabbos, is to be nes'ales, to lift yourself, to have a tshuka, to have a tzimoyin, kiur to the Eibishter. It translates itself into kilu in a certain sense tapar de plachel, like kilu peil mamish. Like peil mamish is lina teira, baye rove machle tesis. Yeah, kilu. That's one nekuda. Then there's the nekuda of yain. Yain, on the one hand, but it's the poil mamish of yain is gishmak. Rozi teira, right? We're not here speaking about chassidus. It's Shem and Yos and the Rosin. Rozi teira. What's rozi teira? Weiß ich nicht. Kabbalah efsher. Maybe it's Tami mitzvahs, Kavanas mitzvahs. I'm not so sure. But rozi teira, which is mugbal at seer of being only rozi teira. Mashing chassidus, which takes to the whole teira. It's the nekudas, the tamsis of the whole lineage, whatever. We're not going to it right now. Yain is rozi teira. What's the word of rozi teira? That you have to harvest to get it. Nigla, you don't have to harvest so much. You have to harvest abyssal, have to understand, but it's available. Nigla is available. Nigla is ready for you. So you have it shukati mind. Okay, go up, open a gemara. Nothing, no kilu. The effort isn't so much. It's more the teichen is like attacking your holy spilus. The whole word of rozin is that it's also a word of bittul. It's also a word of kyochel, quenching your thirst, quenching your fire. The bittul in the maila, the bittul, the nekuda of yain is the fact that's be'etzem behelen. The fact that you have to work hard to get it. In other words, in a certain sense, after davening, another taste of davening is not just kacham Hashem, also now go work hard. Like, okay, fine, you have a chul, you have a tzimah, you have good stuff. Now go hard of it. Try to take out the wine from the grape. Try to squeeze yourself a little bit. Yeah, and then say to poel mamish, the outcome of the squeeze is take a certain gishmak, a certain gefühl of reichkeit, a certain like yain, something which tastes good, something which is gishmak. So the word sai mai sai yain is a certain quenching of the thirst, a certain like nekuda, either that you're being told that that's this thing the way it is, or that you're harving, that you're working hard. Now, so comes out to Rebbe, and the Rebbe's masbir that the story of everything is Shem. The story of everything is oil. What's the word? Why is Shem the story for everything? Notice, what's the word of chinuch? Let's try to explain this a little bit. Yeah, what's the word of chinuch? Chinuch, loosely translated as education. It's not mamish a true word. Chinuch isn't that. Pshat, I'm mechanech someone. It's not pshat. I'm giving them information, right? That's not what it means to teach. Chinuch, the way like Chassidus, the way we explain here, the way it's explained in a lot of different places, is a word of. In English, I'm saying when you say chanuch sabayis, it's like inaugurating a house. In other words, it's laying down a foundation, laying down a yisoid. In a certain sense, the yisoid of a building has to be strong in the whole entire building. Whatever the inyan of the building is, the yisoid has it even more, has it even stronger. And the word says, now that you have that yisoid, anything else, anything later will just be like putting the yisoid into oasis, just like touching up the yisoid in this prat and that prat. The Agdama of Shaykh Mamuna, right? It's chinuch katan, and it explains there the whole arichis. Not going back to all pratim, but the kudus adover there is that what does chinuch mean? That the first yachas you have with the Eibishter, the first even it's going to be very basic. You know, as you're later on Avis Hashem, we're going to experience later in life, will be much more fancy and complicated and lofty. Nevertheless, the first time you enter a relationship with the Eibishter, the first Ava you're ever meilit, that's like the Chanech and Lanal Pidag, is going to stand with you for your whole life. In other words, if it's just about information, if it's just about getting you like, okay, I'm giving you some information, and later when you'll get older, I'll give you more information, when you get older, I'll give you even more information. So then, it doesn't make sense, like, that when you're going to go older, you're not going to leave from it. Forget, you should leave from it. Like, you stay a little kid your whole life, or stay with that information you're given when you're 5 years old. The word is that when your kid's 5 years old, or in context of Chinuch Katan, when it's 5 years old, Baruch, when you're starting your journey on Avez Hashem, is you're not giving just some information. You're like laying down a foundation. You're trying to you're making a statement for yourself that I am connected with the Eibishter, that I forged a kesher. Now, any way my kesher is going to look, it's all just going to be a taich of that kesher. All just going to be a teitzah of that. That's the word of chinuch. Chinuch is pshat that, like you give a kid a certain yisoid that it's very gishmak to be a chassid of the Rebbe, or the best things to be a chassid. So his whole entire life, whenever he's going to learn another prat, another vort, another maamar, another this, another that, it's always going to go back to, I remember my father told me as a kid that this is the most gishmak, this is my point in life, this is why I'm alive. Yeah, that's the kud of chinuch. So now, on a very basic level, the way the Alter explains is that before you start avoiding the Beis Hamikdash, before you start avoiding the Mishkan, there has to be a certain yisoid. Maybe to be mindful with another prat. When is chinuch necessary? Chinuch is necessary if a person already has bets of sharis to get somewhere. In other words, a person is already holding by a certain deher, by a certain accomplishment, whatever. You don't have to esh be mechanechim then, right? Chinuch is fakert. Chinuch is pshat when bets you're not holding there. Chinuch is pshat that for some reason it doesn't make sense for you to have a certain deher, have a certain feeling, have a certain inyan. Pashas, you're mechanech a kid in anything. In, as we said before, being a chassid, being a shliach, chavivus for Torah, whatever it is. Be'etzem, all the above, just looking at a stama kid in the street, these things are chidushim. It's not velt, it's not elam hazak gashmi achumri. These things would not be automatic. These things would not come into place unless you put them into place. The whole word, that's why chinuch comes in, that you have to make here a chidush. Because when you're making this yisoid, you're doing something new. You're trying to you're switching gears by this kid for the rest of his life. And the kud is that when you're coming to make a Beis Hamikdash, you're coming to make a mishkan. That's a mishkan, a dir b'tachtenim is, the tachtenim doesn't want it. Saying mitzad atzmo. Velt is not ready for it. The oil mahazah doesn't want a mishkan. You're making something completely new. The musik that there could be something called karbanis. That you could take an animal and make it be a reichnech deivishter. Something which mitzad the tev of this animal from itself has no shaykhis to. You're trying to make you're trying to make a matzav where the Eibishter is comfortable in Elam Hazagash. Nisach hamayim, nisach hayayin, amshach salakus. You're trying to bring full elikus, full bleakvul of the Eibishter into Elam Haz. So, in other words, if without chinuch, let's just start. Let's start doing things. Okay, I'm just going to bring a carbon. I'm just going to try to be holy. You're fighting a battle. Notice you have someone here, which a certain something here which is not mechunach. It's like trying to come to a kid, or trying to come to someone who didn't receive any chinuch and just landed one day just landed in yeshiva, and you're speaking to him a sprach which pshitus obviously that you want to be a chassid, obviously that you want to learn, obviously you want to go on shlichus, obviously you want to whatever, and he's like whoa, and you're already speaking shlav beis. You're already saying the milo and this over that, the milo that over this. And he's like, 1 minute, I don't even feel a milo in anything. You're not even speaking my sprach here, b'chlam. That's pshat. That's what happens if you don't have chinuch, right? That's the word of chinuch. Chinuch is that we're on the same page. That there's certain pshitus that azezes. That this is what it is. Now you can already get the product. Same thing. Just start make a Beis Hamikdash. All of a sudden you start bringing karbanis. You're going to be fighting an uphill battle against the Elmazah because that's there's nothing here ready to receive this nekuda that you're trying to do. So first nekuda is mishtaltovek. We establish the Indian. We establish that there's a Beis Hamikdash. We establish there's a mizbeach. The mizbeach is be'etzem amakim muchan lakiv of karbanis. It's a ready place where you can put karbanis on, and kilu you establish it. You establish the fact. You're mechanech. You inaugurated. You made it into a place, and then you can already bring karbanis and nisachim. So fine. So what is chinuch? So what do you do? Very pashtus, or just on a very very, very simple level before you're getting any deeper. Before just learn the Alter Rebbe before you get into the Rebbe's Maamar. But the word of chinuch is whatever. It's same nekuda, whatever you're going to do later, just a very, very strong, do it very, very strong. Kind of like making a statement. Like, I'm going to do the most extreme example of like, shachas l'kus lamato, and now anything later, it's just going to be a prat of that. It's not going to be a chinuch, it's got to be the first thing I did. In a certain sense, like, you buy a house, the first thing you do, like, you make a fabrengen, like to show, like, no, there's not every single day you're going to make shtumdik fabrengen, dancing on the table in your house, but like the first thing you do, that's what you do. To like show, okay, I broke the ice, like this is something which is shaykh. Now anything else already just be a kind of like a downplay from that, like a prat of that, like something clean again, what I did the first time. That's a very makivdik approach. It's a very like general nekuda. Or is that like, okay, once I broke the ice, now I can do a bunch of more stuff. The words the Rebbe explains that it's more than that. That there's a toich and there's a protzik connection between the chinuch, which was done in the beginning, the Mashiach Hashem, and all the protim which is going to be after. Now, one thing which is interesting, the Rebbe doesn't teach how it's the yisoid for karbanos. If you notice in the Maamar, the Rebbe just goes straight into yain and mayim. The Rebbe does not say how the Mashiach Hashem is the chinuch, is the yisoid for everybody's karbanos. Huh? Right, but the Rebbe doesn't explain. The Rebbe goes into a long explanation of the inyan of yain and mayim and how that is the yachs of shemen to yain and mayim. The Rebbe does not so much focus on karbanos. Why? Maybe because it's more pashut. Maybe because like it's obvious that avodah matla mailo can't be without chinuch. In other words, if you're trying to speak about Allah's atachte, trying to speak about a behema, a korban for the Eibishter, obviously there has to be like some kind of a koyach mamayla to help you do that. Maybe I'm just guessing. It doesn't say. When it comes to yain mayim, which are more shachs mamayla, so who says like these are anyways mamayla matadika things? Who says there has to be some achshar for it? I don't know if anyone has any ideas. I'm open to hear. But the Vort says it. The Rebbe analyzes again what we said before. There's a maila in mind, there's a maila in yain. The Rebbe focuses on the fact that shemen, the oil, has both mailas, has both nekudas on a much higher level. Both in yarm on a higher level. Again, let's remember what's the word of yain? Mayim. What's the word of yain? What's the maila? The maila of mayim. Maila. What's mekut of also maila? No, but it has a higher sherish, and the sherish is expressed in how it comes b'poil lamata, right? Nigla has a higher sherish, and you see that nekuda in the fact that when you learn nigla b'poil, in a certain sense it's dry. It's not rosa. It's not primistic. It's not oimek. It's all dealing with mitzias oilam. It's all dealing with inyan gashmim. It's all dealing with svaris in seichel anushi, but it's the Eibishter. It's the Eibishter's dvar vayid Allah. It's what the Eibishter says, right? So that's one sided. The other sided, it's easy. It's easy to get to. You don't have to take anything out of Psahari Dagger. It's accessible. Anytime you want, you can open up a Gemara, see what it says, open a Shulchan Aruch, see what it says, and it's very, very easy, very open. And the word of yain is that it doesn't have that bittul chelik, but it has the horavania chelik, right? So comes the Maamar and says that shemen has both nekudas. So you get shemen, you have to harva even more than you have to harva by yain, right? In other words, that's in toichanin it means that by yain just some give up a squeeze. By shemen you have to harva it. In other words, that it's not just a kvetch. First, has to go out of his mitzias lagamri. Number one. Number two, that when you might say the shemen from the zayis, it's not even like at least yain, and then you have a gishmak, it speaks to you of when you take shemen out of the zayis, the shemen itself is mazik. It's not only mayim, which is tam samazay bittul, which doesn't have a tam. It's for carrot. It's like it's bittul mitzias lagamri. You drink oil, it's not good for you. Which has both nekudas. Now, sai mitzad the inyan of harvin, that a good harvin of them, and sai mitzad the inyan of mitzad how it comes with oil. It's simon daim bittul. It's not even gishmak. It's itself the harvania. It's harvania that results that results in your bittul. So let's touch up what this means in Salvador Hashem. Like again, how does this fit into the picture? I said before that this has to be the yisoid. This has to be a yisoid of a person's life. A person has this as a yisoid. That whenever he's going to go if it's karbonis, if it's yain, mayim, whatever, it's all going to be in perspective. It's all going to be in the right place. In a certain sense, we're going to see this better. We're going to see this better when we go further. When we speak about the reach b'shemen and the ursh b'shemen. But this, the kud of shemen explains in nefesh adam is connected very much with the deepest parts of a person. Chacham stima, deeper than that, yechidish b'nefesh. So we're going to speak about it in another shir. But the kud is al derech. You can imagine a person's, let's say, meida'ani, person's hoidu, beginning of davening, beginning of a person's avodas Hashem. So a person has to, in a certain sense, a person he's gabakari, he has to get out of bed, know the day she's standing on him and force himself out. It's not pshat that when he's getting out of bed, now he has a gishmak and elikus, and now it's like this. No, it's meidani lefanecho. The whole nekuda is sich mevatel zayin. The whole nekuda is you're harving to mevatel yourself. And the word that's be'etzem nekuda, the yisoid of chassidus. The yisoid of chassidus. People think that what's the word chassidus? The word chassidus is you can look for two ways. It's chassidus that it's a gishmak, it's easy limud which just bonds your bittul. It's a musar limud, it's easy to learn and just tells you how you have to that you're to mevatel you. Chassidus that you have to hard to understand a word, but then it's going to be gishmak. You'll learn chassidus like hard on a maamar, but then it's leicht, you're going to feel good, you're going to dance on the table. A word is no chassidus pshat. Chassidus is anochas atzmusa. The yisoid of chassidus, the mahus of chassidus is zichavagen. Is a yid loses himself to the Eibishter, and mitzad both nekudas. The person has to harv it, and the fact that it gets the person to nekudas abitul. I think Kan Mokalahaski, the famous Meister, which I probably said before. The Fidikabek is retired, the difference between the Shishi of Bal Nigla and of Ovid. I think I probably said it before, maybe more than once. That the Fidikabek is retired, how the way how they spend little Shishi, how Bal Nigla spends a whole night little Shishi learning, trying to build a bit of pilpul, kasha, tater, tzadot, yes, achkira, and he's bait till in the morning, till dawn. Then whatever he prepares for davening, he davens, goes to sleep, he rests, he wakes up a few hours before Shabbos, learns up another few black Gemara, comes to Shabbos rested with a pilpul, a few black Gemara, gishma. Then you have a Ovid who's harving in a sugi, dafki the sugi which we speak about, chokhmah stima. We're going to get to next time. About shemen, about chokhmah, trying to hear what chokhmah stima is. And however much he thought he gets it, he doesn't get it. So however he thought he defines it, really that's not even chachmas tima, it's tam chachma. When he's seeing the whole entire night, it's like a bichel chassidus, a maamar nor teira, a maamar tashmim gimel, and he's not getting the words. He's just not getting it, and that's how he spent the whole night. Next day, whatever he has to daven, there's chorta ovid, chassid. So he goes sleep a little before davening. He shouldn't just daven up in order to go to sleep. Go sleep for a little bit. Wakes up and he has no koyach and he doesn't even have a maamar for last night. He doesn't understand the maamar, so he has to dig back in his brain and get up some old maamar which he thought of for once upon a time and tries to remember it, live with it. And he muchas the whole day, tries to daven. He comes it's already close to Shabbos. He really does his achanos for Shabbos, runs into Shabbos. It's a klapta from matter, tired, exhausted, and he doesn't even have anything. A maamar which he doesn't understand, a davening which he can't all get davened, and whatever. Yeah, didn't even have a chance to sleep. So the Fidikabek said that's best than unsere Gehenim from Zere Gan Eden. Unsere Gehenim of such a Ovid is better than the Gan Eden of the Bal Nigla, which comes in with all the good stuff. The take on the Kudah the Maisa is that what's so good about this? What's so good about this Gehenim? It sounds pretty bad to me. If you ask me, it sounds pretty annoying. The word is because the whole Mus of Chassidus, because he didn't get the tzir, he didn't get the tiksal Chassidus, he didn't get the outcome. But the Mus of Chassidus he got. The Mus of Chassidus, it's about your giving up from yourself for the Eibishter. That's about you you mismaster to something higher than yourself. It's not about they saw that I understood more, understood less, I felt more, felt less. Once you have that, okay, now you can let's try to touch Nochsas Musay, first of all, my Rotzi, my carbonis. Let's touch my Nochsas Musay in my Shuv, in my Nisochim, my Yain, in my Mayim, in my Haravanya, in my Nigla. Right? The say for this whole thing is the Shem. So fine, I think next time we have to be magdir better what exactly Shemen is, yeah, and then we'll already be able to explain with the Reich Shabashemen and the Mor Shabashemen, already the second half of the Maamar. That's the close and the clue of the first half of the Maamar. Fine.